Welcome to Anderson Penn's Sunday Brunch, Menu 17 for Sunday, September 11, 2022. Brian.
Hello.
How are you?
Fantastic. You?
I am well, thank you very
Welcome
much.
back.
Why, thank you. It's been a while.
It seems like it's been like a month since we've did one.
It seems like it. I don't think it's quite been that long. Maybe it has.
Oh, you and Steph did one when I was...
Yeah, you were gone. Steph and I did paper, but I think you've been back since then. But who remembers? Who remembers?
But here we are.
Speaking of bicycles, though, we took a nice long ride recently.
Yes.
30 miles.
Yes.
Up to a place called, I want to say Wrightstown.
Wrightstown, yeah.
Wrightstown. Wrightstown.
Lovely little place.
Yeah, a cute little place.
I would do that again.
Even at 7 a.m. Nothing was open.
No.
Well, the gas station was
Yes.
open. Yes. Today, September 11th, is National Make Your Bed Day. In a survey conducted by the National Sleep Foundation, people who make their bed daily more often have a better night's sleep. Celebrate by making your bed and by shopping for new bedding. Do you make your bed on a daily basis?
Well, how do you define make?
At least pull the covers.
I usually do that to avoid any more cat hair.
Cat hair, yeah.
Do I tuck it in and...
No, I don't have that. No. I just have the duvet.
Oh, you have a duvet. Oh, okay. So you've got one thing.
I've got a European, so you just, and it's basically done. But I do that every day because it makes everything like you're ready for the day. Yes. And then when you go to bed, you have to actually do something to get into bed.
They say successful people make their bed every day.
Well, when does that start? It bookends my day. Tomorrow, just so you know, because I know you'll be interested, September 12th, National Chocolate Milkshake Day. Forget the calories for just one day and enjoy a tall, thick, delicious chocolate milkshake. I do like milkshakes.
Do you remember? You might not remember this. We went to Dairy Queen one time, and we asked and received. We went in. We didn't go through the drive-thru. We went in and we asked for an extra large. Do you remember that shake? And it was
but a bucket.
It was like a popcorn bucket. Yes, it was.
And that was for you.
It was for me because I like malts and.
Yeah, but that was too much. That was way too much. But if you ever want too much milkshake, get the extra large or whatever.
Get the extra large. Yeah, they'll make it for you.
That was amazing. Yes, because I usually do the blizzards there.
Yeah.
But I do like a milkshake.
Yeah. All right, after work.
Tomorrow, Monday. Yes. Wristwatch. I brought my Apple Watch. It's just telling the time.
Oh, you've got a fancy thing. I've got.
So oh look. Gonna erase your watch.
So I've been wearing the Apple Watch since.
Yeah, it's my fault. It's my fault.
It is Eric's fault. This was Eric's watch.
But they're ususeful.
That's what I found. It's very useful.
Because prior to the Apple Watch, I swore off watches. I didn't like them on my wrist. And then you and Lisa started wearing Fitbits. That's what happened.
Yes.
And you were counting your steps all the time. And I started looking at Fitbits. And I said, well, if I'm going to wear something on my wrist, I might as well try an Apple Watch. And it proved so useful that you now have it.
Yes, and now I have one. Yes, so I'm grateful for it too.
You have been to Chicago. You had the 2-day event. Since our last... No, that's after Banter.
That's after, okay.
After Banter.
Did I miss something?
I'll get there. It's on the list. I'll get there. But you talked about that on the podcast. But it was a great 2-day event, right?
Yeah, with Kennedy's.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, my goodness. In fact, it wasn't even halfway through the first day, and they're like, okay, we're going to come back. So.
Okay, that was my first question.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're going to do it again.
They're going to do it again, and I'm going to try to work it out so that maybe we have somebody else there. Like a manufacturer, a vendor there at the same time.
That'd be great, especially if it's a Saturday, Sunday, especially the Saturday.
Yes, yeah. So I'm going to try to see what I can line up, and they will definitely try to be back before Christmas.
Excellent.
And then they're already talking about next year, at some point, having an event here in Appleton.
Oh, great!
So because it's only actually an extra couple hours to drive straight here than it is.
It's 3.
It's for them. It's an extra 2, I guess.
Why? Are they somewhere between?
Well, no, they're south, but it takes 3.5 to get to Chicago and 5.5 to get to Appleton.
Interesting.
So must be all that driving.
Well, if they come here, then I don't have to give you a pen to take.
That's
down.
correct.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
So, but no date set on that yet. But I'm
for
really
either
looking forward
for either location.
That's correct.
But Chicago probably before Christmas.
Yes, absolutely.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Now, do you have a joke?
You know, over the weekend, we had a long weekend.
We did. Last weekend was a long weekend.
Last weekend was a long weekend, and I spent some time. I went down to City Park. We have a lovely little park. Actually, if you've
done a podcast at City.
We've done a podcast at City Park, and a lot of people will come here, and then they'll ask for some place to go, and they take a lunch, and they go down to City Park. So I was down there, and I saw a lady, and I ran into her, and she was selling batteries in a little battery kiosk.
A battery kiosk in
City Park, yeah. She sells seashells down by the seesaw.
By the seesaw. Do they even have a seesaw?
I think they do. It's over on the other side.
So that was like a pun.
Down by the seesaw.
I like it. We'll have to practice it though, because that's difficult. Mine's going to be difficult too. What does a sea monster eat? Fish and ships. Ships.
Oh, yeah.
So bad.
Okay, so it's a nautical week.
Apparently so. What kind of pen did you bring for show and tell?
Today, I've got...
We've seen that before.
Okay.
But we like to see it again, because it's gorgeous.
It is, yeah. It's...
King of Pen.
Pro Gear.
Blue.
Dawn.
Blue Dawn.
Blue Dawn. Yes.
Got halfway there.
This is the 21 anniversary of Blue Dawn. Yeah, this is serial number one.
Serial number one. Yes.
And especially since I got the Ocean this week, nice to have another Pro Gear King of Pen in the pocket.
I brought this week. I don't remember if I've shown this before.
I don't think you have.
I don't think so. This is a TWSBI Mini Vac. Is that correct?
Yes.
And this is in clear. This is the one I am currently using for my ink of the week.
Okay. What ink do we have in there?
I can't tell you because it's for next week. So, but you can guess. In fact, in the comments, go ahead and guess.
It's blue.
It's blue. This one was a special request from Dave.
Oh.
So it'll be ink of the week. I like this because it's so easy to clean. When you're cleaning it every week, ease of cleaning is important. And yeah, it's just push, and it's
2-3 pumps, and it's
in a glass of water. And I've always liked the size. I'm trying to think. I did not post this when I was writing with it, but I suppose
you can thread. This is one
is the one you can thread.
Thread on, yeah.
So yeah, I could post that, but I don't usually post unless it's a sport, Kaweco sport. But just a nice pen. If I had my druthers, I would send an email to TWSBI and say, please make the inner cap clear instead of gray like that.
Yeah.
But that's the only thing that irks me about it, and it's a small.
But if it were clear, you'd see even more ink.
I like to see ink. Look, I have the lobby lamp going on there. Yeah, it's a nice pen. I like it. I don't know if I brought it before, but it was. If I have,
I was surprised to see it. So.
Oh, okay. We're gonna do a game.
If I'd have known it was going to be TWSBI week, I'd have brought a TWSBI for sure.
If you'd have known.
If I'd have known.
Did you have another TWSBI? Oh, you brought your.
I own 3 now.
Well, I know you have the Micarta. And the Draco, is it?
Draco, yeah. And I've got a 540 in Sapphire.
Ooh, very nice. 540, I used a Mini 540 for a very long time, years ago.
Mini?
FP Geeks.
They make a Mini 540?
A Mini Diamond?
Diamond Mini, yeah.
It's 540 Diamond.
Yeah, wow.
It was the Mini with the piston. Whichever one of that.
Yes,
and I used it for a long time, way back in FP Geeks days, when many people were complaining about them cracking. And I said, well, what are you doing to them? Because I've used mine forever, and it's not cracking. Sure enough, something cracked.
Right, yeah.
But that has all changed now. That was years and years ago.
A lot of those were the early materials they were curing well after the fact. And I had my 540 actually did crack eventually, and it was primarily 530s and 540s. And when they moved to the 580 and they changed a couple things up, it really changed a lot. It was for the better. Okay. But my 540 eventually did crack, and I got a separate barrel for it because I love it so much. So.
They're good pens. They're great pens. They're fun. In fact, we're going to dismantle one today. But before we do that, we have a quiz.
Did we take pictures earlier or no?
Take pictures
of the dismantling. We'll get to that.
No, we didn't take pictures. You're going to just do it right here, live on camera. But before we do any of that, we have a quiz.
We have a quiz. Great.
This week we are playing for my most recent Ink of the Week, which was Edelstein Appetite. And we're going to do things differently this week. In that, if you win this contest, getting 2 out of 3 questions, then the first person who's watching who happens to order something from Anderson Pens and says, please give me the sample of Appetite, will get the sample of Appetite. That's a lot of remembering.
That's a lot of ifs, yeah.
So first you have to get it right, then someone has to be watching, then that person has to order something and say, please throw in the sample, and we'll be happy to throw in the sample.
They have to name the color?
Yeah, the Appetite. Say the Appetite.
And how long is this good for?
A week.
6 weeks from now, we could get it.
No, a week, and it's the first one. But if you don't order for another week, go ahead and say, give me the Appetite, because maybe someone didn't ask for it. Additionally, I used to just have a list
of
questions, but this time I have categories. I have categories, so you're going to choose.
Is this Jeopardy? What is?
No, not quite. The categories are movies, music, TV, celebrities, not TV celebrities, but TV celebrities, general knowledge, Anderson Pens podcast, and writing instruments. Some of these are probably better at than others.
How is this not like Jeopardy?
Because you don't get to tell me which one. You get to just put your hand in there.
Just put my hand in and pick one.
This is the question number 1 will be this category.
Are these categories or these are questions?
Those are categories.
Oh,
I have the questions. What'd you get? TV. This will be easy for you. What is the name of the coffee house that Ross, Rachel, Monica, Chandler, Phoebe, and Joey hang out in Friends?
It is. It's got Perk in the name.
Yes. What city are they in?
This may come as a surprise to you, but I was never a big Friends fan.
You got the hard part.
The General Perk or something like that.
What city are they in? Okay. Justin, do you know the answer?
Not easy.
I do.
What is it?
Central
Perk.
Okay.
Okay. You need to get the next 2. Or 1.5. You got half.
I got half. I got the hard part. Movies. Okay.
Movies.
All right. You got to ask these questions to Lisa. She's better at this game than me.
You may or may not know this one.
Okay.
Justin is required to know this one. Who played Mrs. Robinson in The Graduate? This is a Dustin Hoffman movie.
Yeah.
His first big role.
Yeah, it was a Paul Simon soundtrack.
Yeah.
That's
Simon and Garfunkel.
Well, yeah, Simon and Garfunkel. Yeah, sorry. Sorry, Garfunkel. Didn't mean to leave you out.
First time I understand that they used one group or duet or something for the entire soundtrack in a movie. Justin will correct me if that's wrong.
So who was whom?
Who played Mrs. Robinson?
Who played Mrs. Robinson? I have no idea.
Oh, do you know?
And
that's right.
But
she's way before your time. But
yeah, I'm having a hard time thinking of her name.
Anne Bancroft.
Anne Bancroft.
For fun, you get to do a third one. Don't bother requesting the sample of Appetite. We'll try that again next time.
You got to ask questions that I know about. Pens.
Pens.
I hope I get this one right.
This is going to be difficult, but it's fresh on your mind. Edison Pen Company just released the new Edison Comet. Can you name the 3 colors?
Yes.
Go for it.
Brandy wine?
Yes. Can you name them in the order I have them? No. Brandy wine is one.
Aubergine?
No.
No. Literally, we just dealt with this morning. I should know these.
C is right. C something.
C, yes. C, I got a half. That's half, right? Did I need 2? I got 1 right. That's half. Seesaws by the... C-cells by the seesaw?
Give up?
I'd give up. I can't remember.
Brandy wine you got correct. Sea spray.
Sea spray,
he's calling it. And Cumberland.
Cumberland.
I don't know what that... I mean, it's red. Yes. But I don't know where the meaning...
That's why I couldn't... I could see the pens. I can see the image in my head. It's, red. It's kind of like a blue and white marble. And then The Brandywine is like this multicolored with a.
I think that's my favorite.
It's pretty neat.
It's almost like a mosaic.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a mosaic. And Comet, I don't know where he got the name from, but is it because the pen is tapered?
I don't know where he came up with it. It resembles quite a lot like the Wall Eversharp Skyline, where it's tapered on the barrel end and then rounded at the top.
The top finial is translucent
Yes.
color, and that might be the Comet with the tail on it.
Maybe. Yeah.
I'll do that again. Now for the real fun.
All right. Sorry for all you folks
And
wanting that.
while we're here, we'll save those for next time. I understand you're going to disassemble a TWSBI Eco.
All right. So we tried to do this blindfolded.
Didn't work out so well.
It worked out just fine. So now
Were parts on the floor, or were they not on the floor?
they were on the floor.
were on the floor.
You were no help, of course.
So this is a TWSBI
This is
Eco.
TWSBI Eco, and the Eco does come in the box with this very visible red wrench.
You're going to call this a wrench, but it looks more like one of those things that they use for pushing the curling, when they're curling on ice for Lego people. Never mind. I don't know where I'm going with that. What do you call the curling stick? Curling stick? Looks like a curling stick for Lego people. Anyway.
Are you done?
Yes. Does it come with this as well?
Yes. So this is their silicone grease, and this is a little bit different than the kind that we sell. You can see it's
Liquidy.
It's very liquidy, yeah, very viscous. And so that's what you're going to use when we take this apart. And
this is only for the Eco.
This is only for the Eco. So the 580 will come with a wrench, but it's a different wrench. It's a metal wrench
this is only for the Eco. And tell me,
pretty thin.
why would anyone want to take apart their TWSBI Eco?
You don't. You shouldn't.
You shouldn't ever take it apart. You shouldn't ever need to take it apart.
You shouldn't need to take it apart, and you should avoid taking it apart excessively. Now, I understand if you want to clean it, and maybe you're using some ink in there that's going to stain, you want to get it out, and that's okay. But taking it apart and putting it back together repeatedly does risk damage to the barrel cracking if you over tighten or do something like that. So
Okay, so that makes sense. It's not really meant to be taken apart and put back together.
yeah,
daily.
you don't need to do it every day. Yeah, I mean,
Give me two reasons why a person would probably want to take it apart. Like you said, an ink in there that you just can't get clean.
you can't get clean. Yeah, or the piston itself is being a little sluggish.
So you're
you wanna
going to
lubricate it.
lubricate this.
Which can happen by using certain inks that will eat away at the silicone on it. So,
Okay.
but generally speaking, in my 25 some years of collecting pens, I've up until TWSBI came around, never took apart a piston filler.
No, I can't. I mean, the closest I've come is to take the nib unit off of the pellet.
Yeah.
But never
So
the piston.
just because you can, and just because we're going to show you how to do it, doesn't mean you should.
It doesn't mean we'll be able to.
It doesn't mean we'll be able to, but it is a fairly, once you get the hang of it, it's a fairly simple procedure, and you can go about your business and get them taken apart and all that good stuff.
Okay.
So
Show me.
All right, so
Step one.
Step one, we take the cap off.
Okay.
Now, what I did is I cleaned this thoroughly beforehand. This is actually our tester here in the store, but I cleaned it out thoroughly so we didn't have to have a problem. But so what I'm going to do here is we've got the wrench here, and you'll notice it's got a little bit. The wrench actually is on the inside, and then there's a little bit of a room here, and that is for placing in between the barrel and the piston knob.
Oh, it goes in this space here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So whereas like on the 580, your wrench is actually a really thin piece of metal, this has a little bit extra meat on it. But you'll notice there is a notch right there.
You mean a flat side?
There's a flat side,
Okay.
yep. On both sides, there's a flat side. So this, of course, then goes on that notch.
And this is step 2 after taking the cap
Yeah,
off.
take the
you
cap
also loosen that a little.
You have to loosen up you can put it out
all
this
the way,
far.
okay.
You don't have to, but you just need to, just enough so that you can get it
in there.
in there. And maybe a little bit better if you do it this way.
Okay. So you brought the piston
I brought it back a little
of it.
bit, yeah. And so these are, of course, reverse threaded, which means all those out there who do the righty-tighty, lefty-loosey thing.
This is a lefty-tighty, righty-loosey.
Righty-loosey, yeah. So
I would tighten this way. You're going to go this way then.
we loosen, and I'm right-handed, so I'm going clockwise.
So I was completely wrong.
And I'm just going to do that, and that should be good. And I'm going to pull this whole unit out.
The whole thing came out just
now,
like that.
if you had gone and you had this all the way out, you would run the risk of this pulling out.
Oh.
Okay.
Which you just did.
Which I did. So I'm going to kind of try to get that. I just put this in there and give it a little bit of a twist to get this engaged.
Gotcha.
Now we can take this apart just to show you what's going on here.
Oh, this is more complicated than I
So
thought.
these are all the parts. This is all there is to it. Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So the first thing, now that we've got it apart, you can go ahead and get in there with your Q-tip or your cleaning or whatever, however you're going to clean this, and you can get this nice and clean and let it dry out. But now that we've got it apart, you can just set that aside. Normally, you don't necessarily have to take all this apart, but when we put it back together, there runs a risk of if you take this out separately that we're going to have to align this. So in that case, you'll notice here there's a little slot on this side.
And my side.
It's flat, and it's the shape of the...
Oh, gotcha. So it fits.
So that fits, okay? And that actually ends up going in here. And so this side is open, and that's what that little rod sits on. And so
you can test it just like that.
Just like that, yeah. But what we're going to do first, though, well, let's do this. So, it looks like this should be the way to do this, and I'm going to screw this on. And if you go to put this in, and I'll tell you why this is not the right way to do this.
So you're showing us the wrong way to do it.
I'm showing you the wrong way only because you might do it this way. It seems to be the way you would want to put it together, but it's not going to work, and this is why it's not going to work. So I'm going counterclockwise to tighten
it.
And now, because I thought it was going to be right, because that's where you want the piston head back there, it's not engaging properly. And this comes off.
That comes right off.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what we really want to do is we want to align the... And you can actually just do it this way too. Come out.
You warned us about that.
I warned us about that. I just pushed that on there, and then I pulled it out. What you want to do is you want to do this first. Leave this part out of the equation.
The whole piston.
The whole piston.
Okay.
And put this part in. You'll see it's got the little notches there.
Yes.
And then those align with the notches inside the cap. So what we're going to do first, and I've got my little notch here. And keeping in mind, we have to allow enough room for us to get at the notch. Yeah. So I'm going to screw this down, and I'm going to screw it down just a little bit above.
Right. So you still have room for.
I still have room for
this wrench to get in.
And this may or may not be the right setting. So we may have to do this twice, depending on how picky we want to be. So now I can go in here and put this in, and I'm going to push in here and then give it a little bit of a turn so it locks in place. So it's not just going to slip out.
Okay.
And then, as long as we've got this out, clean this off, make sure it's clean. And like I say, this is a little bit more liquid, but we're going to put a little bit on the edge of the piston head here. And I can't see if I'm getting it on there, but I see something.
Is that like a dropper? Or
this is like a little dropper, but it's like a glass.
There's a little roller ball in there?
There's a little plastic. And now I'm going to put a little bit on the rod here, so that as it goes up and down, it's smooth. And you can wipe it on there. Give it a little bit of a... All right. And you don't want to put too much because then it's going to get in here and it's going to be a problem. But I'm just going to shove that in like that. And again, which way does this go? Which way does this tighten?
Come towards me.
Yes, okay. So I'm going to tighten that up. And it stops right there. And so now if we did this right, it stops right when it hits the barrel, and there's just a tiny little bit of space.
Right, that
left.
Couldn't go much further.
Yeah, it can't go any further. So this is actually closer to the back end of the piston than it is when we get them from the factory. So this is actually, if you wanted to, you could get a smidge more ink inside the barrel.
But does it work? Can you extend it?
Goes all the way.
Very
Comes
nice.
all the way down, just like that.
Nice.
Do you want to take it apart?
Nope. I'll take it apart.
You did a snorkel last time.
That somehow seemed easier. And I don't think I touched the snorkel.
So now what can happen, why don't I show you this here. What can happen if you don't, like I said, if you don't position this properly. So the first time we put everything together and then tried to put it in, obviously that didn't work. And so this time I had it like there. So if I try to do,
you went in closer.
I went in closer. That'll still fit. Let's see if I get this to work.
You want it to not work is what you want.
Well, yes, yeah.
Let's see if I can get this to not work.
But here's what happens. So now it's not lined up properly. It wasn't lined up properly. It was too far down, which means that's where the piston head's going to be.
So you just get that much ink.
That's all you're going to get.
So.
It's functioning, but you're not going to get.
If you want to keep this half of your barrel clean, you can do it like that.
You could. Now the question is can I get this off again? Yeah, that was really, really tight. So we'll take that off.
Now, the pen comes with this wrench and this lubricant. Does it come with instructions?
There are instructions,
Okay.
yeah. So I'm just going to back this off a little bit, and we had it set just a little bit above.
You had it set
notch.
perfectly, so.
Twist. This might be too much. But if you get the gist of how this works, you can experiment and you'll eventually find what works
Well, it looks like
best.
Third time's a charm on something like this.
So that's usually how they are from the factory. There's
Okay.
a little bit of a gap there, and that's fine. That's absolutely fine because that actually gives you a nice tight piston. So if you can get it any closer than that, great. If not, no big deal. I really don't think that much ink is too much, but that's all there is to it.
And these are the nibs that are not replaceable.
That's
Or they're
correct.
not,
Yeah. The section does not come apart in that pen.
Oh, I can get it apart.
You don't want to try putting them back together?
I don't even want to try taking it apart.
You want to try it blindfold? Behind my back? So now, because of this, it operates actually much smoother than it did before because I put a little bit of...
I didn't try it before, but this is just like glass now.
Yeah, it's real nice. So, not something you need to do, but if...
I could see myself, if I had one of these and some ink was in there that simply would not come out, I might try taking it apart because that would annoy me.
Yeah.
But other than that, I've never really needed to re-grease a piston.
Yeah, because at least if the front one here, if this stays tight, then the back one never sees anything. You know, it's already lubricated, and so your piston always is going to work. But it's handy that they include the wrench, but I wouldn't do it on even a monthly basis. Just as needed.
It would be a rare occasion, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll never do that. But thank you very much for showing us.
You can bring it in.
Yeah, I'll never do that.
So.
Not that I own a Nico. I don't own one.
But that's the process. That'll be the same process for most piston fillers. There will be some kind of wrench involved, and there's some setup between the blind cap and the piston. But all TWSBIs will be like that.
Seems like there's lots of engineering in there.
And it's only 4 parts.
They seem to be complicated and working together. And I like plunger fillers. Just there.
And you can take those apart too. Those come with a wrench.
This came with a wrench?
Yes.
For next time. Speaking of next time, I think for at least the foreseeable future, what with our schedules and all, and the holidays, at least for retail, are upon us. How's Hobonichi going, by the way?
Hobonichi is fantastic. We're finally caught up, which is good. And
congratulations.
Well, it's just what some people don't realize. It's literally just 2 people. It's Dave and I doing all the shipping. So it's taken us a while. Plus, we had the holiday weekend, and actually, we were talking about it this morning. Last year's Hobonichi launch was on Wednesday of the week.
And Hobonichi arrived a day earlier.
And it arrived a day earlier. So here we didn't actually get it until we launched on the 31st, and we didn't get it till very late, like at 4 o'clock at the launch day. Yeah. So, and then it was a weekend, but we're all caught up, and so far it's been very good.
Yeah, no, I'm just waiting for the first day in my Hobonichi to start using it.
December 1st, right? On the monthlies part.
On the monthlies. I think our next brunch is we're going to try for the second Sunday of every month.
Okay.
So October 9th will be the next one. I have an idea for a topic, but I would like to hear from the audience. Please give us an idea if your idea is better than my idea, we'll go with your idea. How's that sound? I originally, as you know, I wanted to do this weekly, but we've had a lot of trouble doing it weekly. So if we get more than just monthly, we'll do that.
Yeah.
But I don't like promising. I like promising and then breaking promises, but not to this audience. Do you have another joke?
It's funny you should ask.
It's funny you should ask.
Have you heard of Murphy's Law?
I have heard of Murphy's Law.
Yeah. What is it?
If anything can go wrong, it will.
Very, very good. Very good. Have you heard of Cole's Law?
Is that going to be like cut cabbage and mayonnaise or something?
Thinly sliced cabbage?
Sorry.
You always tell me, if you know
that
the
one
joke.
Was so bad. That was so bad. How do you get a computer drunk? No, how did the computer get drunk? How's that? How did the computer get drunk?
I should know this. How did the computer get drunk? I don't know.
It took too many screenshots. I think I prefer Cole's Law. Have you heard of Cole's Law? Screenshots. Yeah, screenshots. Thanks for joining me.
Are we shaking hands? What are we doing here? I don't know.
Whatever. It's been a long time since we did brunch.
Even Justin's laughing.
Another long bike ride, right?
Yes.
We got to do 40 now.
Yes,
we did 30, and now we can do 40. Okay, so...
Darn near killed me last week.
And this week coming up for the podcast will be you and Steph.
Okay.
And that's all I got.
Awesome.
That's all I got, except we should start counting down. We should start...
Christmas?
Yeah, Christmas. If today's the 11th, it's 105 days. Bye.